Trump's new badass Italian boss WH director isn't messing around. Look who he just fired. Ever since Trump got elected, he has been plagued by a series of traitors who keep leaking classified intel to the liberal media. Fed up with America's secrets winding up in the hands of rabid liberals at the cost of our national security, President Trump hired a White House communications director to clean house in order to figure out who's been backstabbing the White House and the American people. But just several days after Trump's new badass White House official was sworn into office, Anthony Scaramucci has already started firing people. And the threat that Scaramucci just issued to any other leaker has every Reno and liberal in the White House in full panic mode. Coming into the job, Scaramucci vowed to begin a White House purge and fire every last person at the White House if necessary. The first White House traitor to get the fiery end of Scaramucci's wrath was Assistant Press Secretary Michael Short, who he found has been the malicious ass behind the series of leaks plaguing the White House since Trump took office. Shortly after terminating Short, the newly minted White House comms director warned other suspected leakers to stop running their mouths, or they'd find themselves outside the gates of the White House selling cheap souvenirs to tourists. Do you want to sell postcards to the tourists outside the gate, or do you want to work in the West Wing? What do you want to do? Scaramucci told reporters in the driveway leading up to the West Wing. I'm gonna put him out on Pennsylvania Avenue. When asked how he'd get rid of the traitors at the White House, Scaramucci replied, "I'm going to fire everybody. That's how I'm going to do it. You're either going to stop leaking or you're going to get fired." What's hilarious is how Scaramucci epically trolled liberal reporters from the leftist rag Politico, who were waiting with bated breath to find a negative fact they could slander Scaramucci with following the breaking report that he had fired Michael Short. He sarcastically told one Politico reporter that he was really upset that they knew of the story before he did, saying, "This is actually a terrible thing. Let's say I'm firing Michael Short today. The fact that you guys know about it before he does really upsets me as a human being and as a Roman Catholic." You got that? When asked if the leaks were coming from Trump's aides, Scaramucci replied, "There are leakers everywhere." He went on, "Leaking is atrocious. It's outrageous. It's unpatriotic. It damages the president personally. It damages the institution of the presidency. And I don't like it." For the leakers in Washington, this is just the beginning of Scaramucci's White House purge. A Trump insider in New York predicted that Short is only the first to go, and there will be countless more, suggesting ex-RNC aides on Sean Spicer's team are the ones on Scaramucci's next target, as they've been the persistent source of negative leaks from the beginning. As soon as Michael Short heard word he was being axed, he tried to do damage control by suddenly resigning from his position, where he put out this pathetic and lame statement about his service to the president. The Hill reported, "I have resigned, effective immediately," Short said in a brief text message. It was a privilege to serve the President of the United States. Short's departure came after White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci told Politico Tuesday morning he planned to fire him over alleged leaks. The spokesman initially responded that he had not been told of his dismissal. "No one has told me anything, and the entire premise is false," he told CNN. "It's so awesome to finally have someone up at the White House who genuinely has President Trump's back and is draining the freaking swamp of these treasonous turds." With his vow to fire every last person in DC if necessary, perhaps he could take a gander in John McCain's direction and fire McCain's treasonous ass while he's at it. It was recently brought to light that McCain was the malicious moron behind the fake Russian dossier, and wouldn't it be just epic if we could rid Washington of this clown and not have to wait for nature to take its course?